internet. So I've been pretty good about staying away from Sephora and not indulging in my addiction, but I failed today, and it was a planned fail, largely because I wanted some skincare and hair care to add to my beauty regimen. I'd been sort of reading up on things, and I decided to make the splurge. So here's what I got. One of my favorite parts about Sephora, if you don't know, and I realize that a lot of people don't know because I was talking to a friend about this yesterday, Sephora has an amazing return policy. So if you don't like anything that you get from there, you can just bring it back, and it's really no questions asked. So they don't care if you've tried it, if you haven't tried it, if you've tried it for one application or 7 applications. Give you a really long time to bring it back, and they're really accommodating about it, which is why even though it's really expensive to shop there, I do keep going back. And I also love it because it's a very free place where you can go and just try everything on and nobody bothers you, and I really enjoy that because I usually prefer to sort of make my own mind up. With that said, this is what I made my mind up about today. So just starting, this was basically the driver to go in there. It's an eye cream. I've been using the Shiseido Beneficence night cream for a couple of months now. I could do an updated skincare video if you guys are interested. It definitely is a splurge. It's not a cheap cream at all. It's not as expensive as La Mer or some of the other popular ones, but it's an investment, and it's one that I feel comfortable and confident making because my mom has been using Shiseido face care for way before I was born, like since she was like in her late 20s, and her skin looks amazing. So I feel like it's tried and tested for me, and so I've been using the night cream and just using that as an eye cream. But I've just noticed that my eye area is still super dry, and that people in the legal profession for some reason have really wrinkly under eyes that are horribly papery. I keep noticing this. Trying not to be judgmental, but I don't want it to happen to me. So this is preventative. For an eye cream, it's actually a really nice size. It's 0.51 fluid ounces or 15 milliliters. So this is the Wrinkle Resist 24. My next reason for going in there is because sometimes, only sometimes, I'm kind of a sucker for good marketing. And the Living Proof Style Lab wine, which is modeled by Jennifer Aniston in pretty much any magazine you would pick up right now, has been marketed really cleverly. Her hair is always amazing. Women just love it and request it all the time at hair salons. I'm not obsessed to that level, but I do think it always looks really good. The photography for the advertisement looks really good. And what really got me is that they listed her as a partner, which means she's essentially somehow invested in the brand, maybe through buying some of their stock or having some kind of say in their direction. And to me, I just thought that was really cool and unusual, because usually actresses and models are just spokespeople for brands. They don't actually have any say in anything. So the fact that she was willing to do that and wanted to do that, to me, was somewhat meaningful, and I thought I would give it a try. They actually had a tester for this satin hair serum. In the store, I actually put some in my hand and applied some to my really dry ends, and it made it feel really nice and not heavy and not greasy. Prime Style Extender, and this is what's supposed to protect my hair from humidity. It will be the first product that I use when my hair is damp. Next thing that I went in for, I kind of knew I was gonna get because I've tried this before, but I've never bought it. And the reason for that is, how cool is this packaging, by the way? Check it out. Bare Minerals. Ready. It's very cool. This is a new Bare Minerals powder foundation, and I had gotten a free sample the last time I went into Sephora, And I'm not usually like a person to buy something after I try the sample because so often they're just really horrible. But this one I thought was really good. It's a powder foundation. I would say it's medium to full coverage. Probably maybe more on the medium size, to be quite honest, unless you layer it. But I just love how natural it looks. I've used the Bare Minerals powder foundation, you know, the loose one that made them famous, for a while on and off, but it tends to look a little cakey on me, which is why I've never just kind of loved it or talked a lot about it on my channel. But this is nothing like that, in that it's not cakey. You can't really apply too much of it. It just looks like a thin layer of powder, and then because I have a little bit of oiliness to my skin, like an hour later it just sinks right in and it doesn't look like I'm wearing anything. It really is so natural looking. I just realized that I got 2 samples from her, which is nice. I got a Dior Addict Eau Sensuelle, which I've never tried before, and then the usual Clinique Cleanse, Exfoliate, and Moisturize little packs. I don't love the liquid facial soap from Clinique. I think it's kind of harsh, but I like the moisturizer, so that'll be nice when I go away or go home for the weekend or something like that. Last product before we go into lip products, which were my major sin at this particular trip, is an Anastasia brow pen. I have tried her pencils before. I'm a huge brow junkie because my brows are just kind of a prominent part of my face. They're really dark. I style them entirely myself, so I tweeze them and everything all on my own, and sometimes they need a little extra help. Actually, they always need a little extra help. So I use her powder every single day. It's basically a marker that you just fill in your brows with. Enough said. The question really is whether it will blend in nicely and the color will be good, because sometimes I struggle to find the right color that's not black but is still dark enough for my brows. Then this was my indulgence. So I got not 1, not 2, but 3 new lip products, which is very naughty. But I justify it because I have straight teeth now. I'm actually about to get my braces off pretty soon, and I'll do a whole video on that because I know a bunch of you guys are interested in that. I'm basically just so much more comfortable and confident with my smile now than I used to be, and so I've been doing the whole winged liner bright lip thing for a while, and it's just, I feel so me in it. I feel like it's such a good fit for me. I love how retro it is, but wearable, office appropriate, but young. It's just a perfect blend of all good things to me. They're from Bite Beauty, and they're made with natural food grade ingredients, which is important if you're gonna be wearing a lot of lipstick because you're gonna be eating a lot of lipstick. I think pretty much everybody does that thing where they kind of nibble their lips and eat wearing lipstick, so you're going to be consuming some of it. Figure it may as well be full of good things. The first one I got is Tannin, which is a pretty cool funky color for fall. It is a true just purpley wine. It reminds me a little bit of Tom Ford's Black Orchid, which is probably 3 times the price, but it's a little bit more wearable. It's a little bit less blacky purple, but still a definite, you know, really dark vampy color. The second one that I got is called Bramble, from the same brand, Bite Beauty. I like saying that, it sounds good. And it's also, so both of these are the high pigment pencils. They have traditional lipsticks as well, but I thought that these were cool. And then the last one I got is the one that they were featuring because these are new. They're the Cashmere Lip Creams, and I got the color Rioja, and it's a true red. So it is just going to be basically my new favorite red lipstick if I like the formula, but I think it's extremely cool. It is basically a matte finish lip cream. Goes on really smooth and it stays on for a really long time and then leaves a stain after it eventually wears off. And it's definitely a blue toned red as well that goes really well with cool toned skin, but it's much brighter than the others. You can see that in this little tube of goodness. So that is it for everything I got on today's little Sephora trip. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!